new to pool and practicing the basics, or a more experienced player performing drills to improve your shot making and positional play, the Drill Partner is perfect.
Well, we finally got you tied down here, Pinozo, out in Las Vegas, buddy, Mister Popular. I don't know who I've gotten asked more about over the last few days, whether it was you or Madeline, if you guys were around. So,
Well, I'm sure Madeline's outdrawn me.
well, she's a superstar of the group, eating some snacks down here at the booth. We're live from the Rio. Let me know if you guys can hear us all right and see us okay. We got a little different setup here with both of us hanging out here. How are you, man? Doing all
Good.
right?
Everything's good. Yeah, it's just you know what? I was jump right into it. This is a really good event.
Why do you say
It's
that, Mike?
It's just really entertaining.
Yeah.
I love the different divisions that they have. I love the different things that they've thrown in there. The one pocket, the bank pool,
Yeah.
whatever, and that they're interspersing these because you play this day and then the
Are you
finals
just
might
saying
be
that
2
because
days.
everyone's here and Karim's here and WPA's here?
No. I think this is the best. I think this is the most entertaining event that they've put together here. And it doesn't include. There's no World 10 Ball. There's no. But this to me
we
has
thought
been
would be a big negative
big,
coming
that
into this
they,
event.
that they weren't having.
Right.
But conversely, they've got all these other things going on, and it's a bunch of little showcases, a bunch of little not sideshows, but and it's made it a lot of fun. It also allowed them the opportunity to bring in players that weren't allowed to play.
And why aren't they allowed to play, Mike?
Well, because the Open was a WPA sanctioned event, right?
Yeah.
So there are people who right now are banned.
Right.
So they couldn't play in the WPA event, but they did manage to find other ways to bring some of these guys in, whether it's Shane,
I think they're
Billy, Sky, players like that, which are good draws, which are good entertainment, provide good content for them for programming.
Absolutely, it does.
So from that standpoint, I thought that it was really well thought out, and like again, I like the fact that I'm watching mixed doubles last night, and then today I'm watching women play over here, and then the men's open is playing in the center court.
Yeah.
I like that. It's made it very watchable.
On that note, Mike, like it further validates the fact that they're aware of like that the drama going on right now is not good for business because they know who the draws are. So for them, and I'm not saying they made these other divisions for the sake of bringing in these banned players, but they're aware of who gets the eyes and who doesn't. That's why they have the SVB coming in and guys like that.
Yeah, they know who people like to watch. They know who are the magnets for attention, and who are great players who are going to make those events better.
Right.
You're not going to have a bank division here without inviting a lot of non-WPA guys because it wouldn't be much of a bank event. So, it's kind of a fun version of Derby.
It is a little. It's got
a little Derby, but not as grindy.
Not as grindy, not as grimy for sure.
Oh yeah. No, it's from that standpoint.
It's like Derby, but like scheduled out, kind of, and it's condensed.
And there's players who are here. I mean, I saw Torsten Holman here. I think the only thing he's playing is the mixed doubles tournament.
Yeah, I was wondering why I saw Torsten too.
So it's there's even players like that here, and I really think that's cool. I like bumping into these guys here, and it's been a lot of fun. The only player really who's here who's had that full on Derby grind is Josh.
Well, I mean,
he played into one pocket. He's still playing in the banks.
He's young.
He's in the mixed doubles, and he's in the semifinals now, winning in the
He's
Open.
had a light schedule too. You know what I mean? So I think he can afford a little bit of a grind session.
And it hasn't been 24-hour days for him. It's not been a Derby kind of grind.
No.
He's been front and center in every division that they've run.
Right.
So or every little event that they've kind of.
Yeah, but I think the matches are still in a format where it lends itself to be, as far as you being able to manage your time.
Yeah.
You can still go get a lunch. You're not back to back for the most
Yes.
part, and even when you are, you're away. Like when you know it's gonna be, it's just that it going into it, so you can budget yourself a little better than the unknown that is Derby City. But I'm with you. I mean, I've said this day after day as far as me appreciating the event. I think they did a great job as far as mixing it up. like we talked about before, I'm not a fan of everything kind of winding down towards the end, because then I feel like you're emotionally, I get uninvested or maybe just unaware of what's going on here because I'm focused on this
Right.
versus the other. So like if there were going to be any critique, it'd be that. But for the most part, I mean, it's been great, Mike.
I do. I like it. I like that there's different finals on different days.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so I think that that's a smart way to do it. You know, it's kind of what Derby got away from.
Right. Oh
but,
yeah.
But then again, this is a completely different animal from the hours per day grind that this event is. So again, like I said, from that standpoint, I think that this is the best event that they've run here, the most entertaining from a from a fan standpoint. So
and I was on that bandwagon of being not as excited about it because the World 10 Ball. I love the World Championship aspect of it, but
then it almost feels like coming for one event. Right?
Yeah, I mean,
and here I don't feel like I came for one event.
No, it's
I came to watch a lot of different stuff happen.
Every day I'm looking forward to one thing versus another, and every day you can come in from starting at 10 a.m. local time, and you're going to find matches going on, whether it's the women, whether it's the banks, whether it's the mixed doubles now. The men is still winding down. They're going to be playing all day long as well. So it's a fun bag of things that you can go and check out, and depending on what side of the room you're on, you can see a couple different tournaments, which is awesome. Yeah. The coverage has been great. Kudos to them for allowing the players to stream their matches, which further helps build their brands and their social media platforms. So, in terms of them being flexible in that regard, you got to give them a big thumbs up for that, Mike. I mean, it's absolutely outstanding. But on the note of Josh, because he is playing right now, have you got any words with Mr. Killer Filler as of yet?
No, he's no. I think that I did speak with Pia yesterday briefly.
Well, that's the boss anyway. So I mean,
well, and she basically said, Josh ain't talking.
Okay.
And I don't know. I kind of got an inkling that it's basically he's not talking to anyone. First, I thought it was just he doesn't want to talk to Mike Pinozzo anymore, which is fine. I mean, he's not the first person; he won't be the last.
Show him the ring, Mike. pull a ring on him. Pull rank on him. They're like, listen here,
but,
buddy.
And the fact of the matter is that it's not no coincidence that they launched this big YouTube social media platform now for Josh. That they're going to be live streaming from events and whatever, and he's not.
Josh isn't doing social media. Like now Josh may get photographed for social media, but Josh is not doing social media.
He'll have to, and he'll get better over time. And the reason I bring it up is that the fact of the matter is that with social media and the platforms he doesn't need me. Okay?
Yeah.
He doesn't need me.
But to be that avenue.
He can create his own narrative and talk about his matches and tell everybody what he felt like. He can do all that without me, and that's fine. I totally get that and understand it. By the same token, it's not a good long-term look or plan to me to spend the rest of your life acting like the media is the enemy. Okay. You got to have thick enough skin to be able to take a little bit of criticism now and then, along with all the pats on the back, because there's more street cred there than there is with you pitching your own story on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, hopefully he'll come around and lighten up a little bit. But for now, it seems like Josh is telling only Josh's own story or being interviewed by the local promoter when he's at an event like this.
That's the only time he's made himself available. Yeah. Listen, nonverbals are big, and it's a huge part of what I do here. And whenever we're interviewing someone, it's like I try to just feel out the moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when someone, on the note of Josh, when someone ain't looking at you, I know, okay, I can get the point, And it's been that way since I've been over here. It's been a little awkward. I think he looked me in the eyes one time and immediately looked down, and I'm like, all right, I get it. Like, there's no need to go up there and make it even more uncomfortable than what it needs to be.
Well, so, there isn't, and I'm not trying to, preach on how to be a reporter or a journalist, but. It's not going to stop me from walking up to him and asking him a question.
Well, that's why you're the Hall of Famer.
Well, no, and if he says, I'm not talking to you or I have nothing to say, that's fine. But I'm not going to stop approaching him to comment on situations. So that's part of my job, and he's got to understand that. If he's offended by that, so it just takes a little growing up, that's all.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm like you. I hope he comes around, and I feel like even though we've had interesting opinions on him or harsh opinions on him, depending
Apparently.
on clearly, right? I feel like we've been more than fair, all things considered. And I'm sure some won't feel that way, and I get that part of it.
You're going to get that over the course of time with people's careers. They're going to be, they're going to forget the times you were in their corner, and they're going to remember the times you criticized them, and that's just the nature of the game. And that's fine. I get that. So you just have to keep doing what your job is, and let them keep being who they want to be, and
Well, this is what I like. My attitude towards it has been, if they don't want to talk, I'll still have an opinion either way.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm somebody, because I'm not. I'm not a Hall of Famer. I'm not a world champion. I'm not. I'm just a guy who likes to talk out of his ass sometimes. You know what I mean? And so, but the door's always going to be open, or the window will always be open, right? And so, Josh will always have a spot here and be able to talk, and hopefully one day he'll chill out a little bit and lighten up. And I think it can be positive, because I still feel like he's a great player, clearly, because he's in the semifinals here in this event. He'll be a threat in any event that he enters into, Mike, any discipline of pool.
Yeah.
And so it's been like, the fan in me has really appreciated since the U.S. Open, basically watching Josh play again, because he is something to be marveled when it comes to his on the table play and the way he can kind of dissect.
Yeah, we all like watching him play. I mean, it's great. It's great stuff. We just like to be able to ask him, what was going through your mind. But he's going to control that narrative for the time being, and have at it.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really. What are you going to do? I like that some of these guys, like, even though there's been moments where it's been uncomfortable, it further lets me appreciate these other guys more, that you may have a harsher opinion on them at times, but they're still willing to have open discussion, and they don't take it personal, which is cool. So a kid like Tyler Steyer comes to mind. We've kind of had
different players. Different players handle it different ways. Some of them have thicker skin, some of them understand it, some of them don't understand it at all, and over time maybe they will. So it's just you just kind of got to go one player at a time and one event at a time, and just keep doing your job.
You want to be soft, be soft. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? So. Anyhow, Mike, on the note of the tournaments that are being had, Final Four of the men's is today, I think including the finals as well. Josh is playing WPA #1 ranked player, Alex Kazakis. So clearly Alex must be the favorite, right? I mean, you would think, just based off of rankings, no?
Yeah, no, this is kind of a Josh. It's a good setup for Josh. Alex is a great player and certainly could win. Marco Tucher had a shot against Josh yesterday. Took him to the shootout, and according to the Josh interview that was on social media,
I saw that on PBS.
Marco got sharked on on one of his spot shots and ended up missing and ended up costing him. So apparently someone dropped something that made a big noise, and Marco got up off the shot, but the shot clock that they have to shoot on didn't stop for that, and so he had to kind of get back in a rush. This was according to Josh.
They should have, right? They should have.
I have no clue. I have no clue what the what the protocol is on that. But so Josh admitted that he kind of got away with, he got lucky there. Unfortunate for Marco, but Alex, he's a great player, and this race to 3. That's a lot of match.
Yeah,
so there's still plenty of time to get back into it. I think Josh, it's 1-1 in sets, and Josh was up 3-1 in the third set.
I think it's 3-2 now in that third set, and they're tied on sets overall. I'm with you. Look, I think this format, although the players haven't necessarily been behind it in terms of them showing up, from a fan standpoint, I appreciate it, because you're always engaged throughout the entire match.
Yes,
no one's ever mentally checking out either. I feel like, because they're always going to be in it, and a 2-game swing is so massive when you have a race to 4. You know, and so even just stealing one, then I'm breaking and running one. Well, now that 2-0 hole feels way different than a 2-0 hole in a race to 9 or a race to 11 or whatever the case may be. So
there's a lot of opportunity to keep you in the game. Keeps the players engaged, puts a lot of pressure on the players. It keeps the fans engaged. Still, I think overall the players don't love it.
No, I don't think so either.
But they
But
understand.
pro players don't have the answers, Mike. I also
No,
don't
not
feel
at all.
like,
That's why some will say, when I get down to it, I kind of like this format. I don't know that they would want to play it in every event through the course of the year,
right.
but I think that some of them do kind of embrace it when they get into it and say, okay, this is a different animal. I have to approach it a different way, and it brings out a different side of them, which is interesting.
We've mentioned before where we feel like that cookie cutter template of tournaments can get a little exhausting at times. Where it's it's pick a part of the world and it's the same thing going on. The guys are seated in the same part of the bracket, and it's over and over and over again. So having these things that are kind of different in a mix and a fun dynamic, and it's exciting from the beginning. I got to say I'm enjoying it.
I like it. Yeah,
I'm enjoying it thoroughly. The tournaments are going to be running down. They got the banks going on. The one pocket's over with.
Banks continues tomorrow, right? Finishes tomorrow.
Yeah, finish
and
tomorrow.
then
The men's should finish today, though. No, is that or what am I missing here? Maybe the chat can let us know here. Oh, Wednesday at 7:30. So today at 7:30.
is the
You're
men's
gonna be
finals.
you're gonna be at dinner while the finals is going on. I mean, are you gonna work around here, or By the way, how was Herbs and Rye?
Herbs and Rye is always the best.
Yeah,
what did you have? The best. My buddies were all there behind the bar making me drinks. No, I went light yesterday. Just had a little salad.
Yeah.
But it's always a lot of fun there. Place. Anybody ever comes to Las Vegas, go to Herbs and Rye. Take a night, sit at the bar, and enjoy yourself.
I'm gonna see if they'll sponsor the page for the next event out in Vegas. They're absolute killer, man.
So we'll have to see about it. I didn't realize that the men's final was tonight, but
I think Kazak has just tied it up 3-3 in the third set, so we got a bit of a nail biter out there.
Well, yeah, whoever wins this set knows the worst they can do is come out with a shootout, right?
No, I think you can still steal one because of that.
No, worst case scenario. If you're up 2-1, the worst you can end up is 2-2 and go to the shootout.
No, you can still lose 3-2 from there.
No,
you can win the next two sets.
No,
if
it's 2-2, if it's 2-2, it goes to shootout. It's not
does it? I thought it was
set. No.
I thought it was in the fifth set. If it's tied at 3-3, then it goes to shootout.
No, if it's two sets apiece, you're going to shootout.
I don't want to bet dinner on it because I feel like I'm in a trap right here. So I'll gracefully step away. Dennis Gray, Jeff DeLuna, Mike, down the bottom.
Yeah, Jeff played. I saw some of Jeff's match yesterday against Gomez.
Yeah,
he made some wild outs. He was firing, drawing the ball length of the table. He was freewheeling yesterday.
Jeff makes pool look cool. You know, I'll say it, and I love that Mika Immonen, ironically enough, style of play. Where you move the cue ball around. You're not afraid to go 2-3 rails for position over and over again. It's not this robotic. I'm staying in line and I'm just going to hit it with following a tangent line up and down, back and forth, playing like these drill type outs. And so watching Jeff is always going to be exciting. On TV table, I feel like that style can be a little bit slippery, and pun intended, because it can be a little dicey out there on TV table. But he managed to make it work, and he made it work against Roberto. He's going to have a tough out against Dennis, though, because WPA ranked player number 2, Dennis Gray. Is it 3?
I think Josh is 2.
Josh is 2? I think it's Dennis 2, and I'll bet you dinner on that one.
No, I'm not.
You want to bet dinner on that one?
No.
Okay, all right. Dennis Gray.
But either way, Dennis, solid player. I'd love to see, he did win the Maldives Open. I'd love to see him win an event like this. He's just a good guy.
He's an easy guy to root for sure. Dennis' style of play is, I love how he can get a little tilted because he's not afraid to show his emotions. So I can appreciate that. And it's always going to have these ups and downs.
Yeah.
Dennis played a match against John Moore the other night. I thought the winner of that had a real good chance of going deep. John was playing pretty solid pool. A lot better than what I've seen him play over the last, year or so. I know at Derby he was a little bit rough, but John's been playing great. Dennis stole that one. I got high expectations for Dennis. Jeff's going to be a tough out, but I expect the guy from Estonia to make it through the final, Mike.
It'll be a good final.
If he plays Alex, though, I'll probably...
Well, that's what he's rooting for. He's big buddies with Alex, right? So Dennis Alex is what they're rooting for.
How ironic would that be, though, Mike, to have those two guys given the Maldives and then for them to come in this event and end up in a final?
It would be cool.
It would be pretty cool. They're really good friends on and off the table, which is awesome. But, yeah, I want to see that, I don't know who I'm rooting for now because I want to see Josh, right? Because I'm just that's who I'd rather see more than anyone play pool. It feels like sometimes. But Alex is going to be a great story. Dennis is going to be a great story. So kind of pick your poison. Give me who you think's going to win the men's tournament, Mike.